Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
So we can engage whenever.
Okay.
I knew we were. I knew we were.
I didn't get the nod.
Mic a little closer, Brian, so I can hear you a little bit.
So James,
there.
you know the
check sibilance,
thing,
tie balls.
the thing you sent us with the tree, the pine that fell over in that cloud of pollen. I seen that in Windsor yesterday when the winds picked up.
The tree.
I
Where the
watched
tree falls and
just the wind come through the pine, and dude, this cloud of pollen, I was like, oh God, man, dude, it's so bad out there, man.
I think just seeing it, when you can visually see it, like I was just saying, whether you are an allergy sufferer or not, you start to feel some effects of that just because of the amount. When you're actually wiping it off your face, you know, I went out to the deck yesterday and was just going to sit out there and looked at my deck furniture, and it was just covered in yellow. There was this powder all over. So I got a big straw.
Right at the nose.
I got the leaf blower and blew that stuff around. But yeah,
it's bad, man.
Oh, I really, really feel for allergy sufferers right now because I have never seen more pollen alerts popping up on my weather forecast each day. They give you the weather warnings, and pollen alert has been basically like every day.
Through the roof.
Is this something that is all across the United States, that pollen is this intense, or are we kind of, is there something unusual about where we are this year? Any idea?
I got to think it's geographical. I do got to believe it's because, again, with the wildlife and what I deal with nature, I got to think as much moisture. I mean, you've seen grass on the side of the roads 3 foot high everywhere around here. But I heard Walden, Colorado is actually desert.
Really?
They've got no moisture. They've got...
it's still severe drought.
Up top, yeah. And that's up top in Walden, man. So, again, fire dangers. I mean, I've talked to my guys in the departments. They're already prepping, anticipating. They're saying this year's going to be as bad, if not worse, than what we had last year.
See, fires. I think that surprises a lot of people when they can think that we've had a moist spring.
Because they look around in our backyard.
Right.
Yeah. But what they don't understand is now we're to summer, and summer hits on a dime. And when it does, everything dries out and dies. And all that 3 foot grass you got standing everywhere that's beautiful and lush and full of mosquitoes and ticks and fleas is going to dry out, and now you've got a super fire hazard.
Does rebirth of a burnt forested area as it comes back to life, does that create or require more pollen? I know this could sound like a stupid question, but as life begins again there, is that part of the process? Is there, as plants and everything come back?
Oh yeah, man. You gotta, and this is going to be described in a much better way by a biologist, probably.
I'm sure.
But as it's clear, it's just like the rainforest. The canopies in the rainforest absorb all the light, so it gives the birth of new things underneath. They don't get the sun. However, in these areas, now I got a buddy of mine that was just up in the burn, sent me some pictures, and wow, the ground is covered in growth.
Oh, really?
The ground is covered in growth. Now, this isn't all the areas, but this area he went to, you could see the devastation from the distance, but as you got up on it, the regrowth. And let's think about pollens, man. How far will a pollen spore travel? Or a seed. Wildlife is carrying seed all the time, man. Our migratory birds are carrying seed all the time, and their feathers and the pollen. Everything's a pollinator. Bats, for crying out loud, love of God, bats. Everything is a pollinator. Everything. The coyotes. Think about the coyotes, doing their thing everywhere
just
they go.
Just from it attracting to their fur as they brush by things and do that.
The spores, the seeds. It's so complex, bro. It is so complex, man. But when you can wrap your head around just even the raccoons carrying different seeds on their fur, pollens on their fur. Yeah, dude, if you break it down to the nano, it would blow your mind at how diverse and everything gets around on this planet.
I guess a lot of us never really think of wildlife as a vehicle for that type of thing. You think it's in the plant world, it's all that, and that's how things are done. But you forget about everything that's attracted to an animal's fur. You've often talked about the zoonotics and the negative things, that we can get from animals. But this is kind of this is a positive influence.
On there's give and take in all that
as far as them spreading.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a wild world out there. That's what I love about nature, man. That's what and you guys have been with me, man. When you get out in that day. Dude, it will absorb you when you can wrap your head around what's going on. I mean, it's incredible.
When there is rebirth like there is, which I mean, it's nature. It's what happens when you see the fires. You're devastated, but this is nature.
Yes,
and it's going to grow back. How soon before the animals start noticing? Oh, wow, it's back. Hey, look, remember when we got ran out of last time? I drove by there the other day. There was green stuff coming up everywhere.
Right. Well, again, that's nature. We'll never understand it, but they move back in. That's new growth, new vegetation. Will they in their lifetime or us in our lifetime see the forest there again? Probably not, but it will come. It's historical, man. You look at history and what it's done. This happens all the time, and I'm not justifying wildfires or baby reveal parties.
I'm not Again, it happened. One of the fires started because of a baby reveal gone wrong.
And stuff happens with humans. Too much stuff. We won't go there, but
go ahead. I'm not totally open. Let it go, bro.
It's all natural, man. It's all natural. You could have cut a cake, okay? You could have cut a cake.
You could have shown the picture. It's either got one or it doesn't.
Right. That's it. For the love of God. No, it's just human overtaking the planet with no respect, no understanding. Irresponsible. This won't happen. It did. Mm-hmm. But it's nature. It's rebirth. It's regrowth. It will come back as long as we don't go up there and divide it into 40-acre parcels and fence it all off and sell it and build houses on it. That's what's happening.
That's what's happening.
Which you bring up a point here, Scott. If you guys didn't know, most construction sites actually get male trees. Male trees are the pollinator throughout Mother Nature.
Right.
Did not know about this myself. Hence why another reason as to why the pollen and allergies are up higher, because the new construction's happening all around here, particularly in northern Colorado.
Oh yeah.
And because the springtime is also started earlier as well, because the days are getting warmer. The allergies are lasting a lot longer as well too.
Right.
So it's because I didn't know that most of the construction workers, in fact, male trees only is a pollinator versus a fruit bearer seed dropper where the females are.
Right.
Which is kind of crazy.
No, it is. I learn something every time we sit down and talk. Just didn't expect it to come from him.
No, I love that. I freaking love
nature. That was
turned
not
me on.
Did it really? A little bit? Do I need to move over?
Yeah, you might better. Put your hand on my leg.
But, I always start to wonder what classifies as a drought. Because it seems to me almost like the obese scale for humans.
Right.
Where a guy looks absolutely fit, but no, he's 7 pounds overweight, and you're technically obese.
Right.
Okay, you're technically in a drought, but we've had all this. I mean, I've always wondered what is what determines whether it is a drought or whether it's just been a little dry.
It all depends on the flip of the coin, my friend, just like the news.
Pretty much that's
we're in a drought today.
It's a drought, yeah.
It is a drought. No, it does. It does. It's because we do. How are we supposed to understand? Because they tell us our water this year is above normal, above average.
Right.
But we're in a drought.
We're in a drought.
So I should have went into weather.
My wife tells me she loves me.
Yeah, you're in a drought.
But I'm in a drought. Let's get this out of the way. Let me check my scorecard. It's still blank.
Zero.
Nothing.
Zero.
Yeah. Got the house, all the the two levels, the different level. Rooms.
Man.
Yeah. Just thought I'd bring that up. So I am a fire danger right now.
Yes, you are. You're a huge threat.
I'm not we used to always say when it would get really dry that there was a warning that no fat guys could wear corduroys up in the mountains. Because do you ever remember corduroy slacks when you were a kid?
I totally remember. I had a pair. I loved them, man. I thought it was all that.
Oh, I'd wear corduroys all the time. Well, I had big freaking thighs.
Right.
And the sound of two thighs and corduroy rubbing together, that sounded just sparking. I couldn't even walk in the mountains in corduroy.
Don't put no Flint down there,
no,
right?
No. I had to leave my Flint trousers at home.
You know, that obese thing you brought up, where is that level, man? I remember coming out of the I tried a new doctor in Windsor. I thought, you know what, I'm going to branch out. I'm going to try a new doctor. Get a different opinion. So I went in and
in other words, you got thrown out all the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's sorry. That's a different podcast.
Slant,
yeah. But I haven't got thrown out of Starbucks yet. They love me.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah. Going back to the doctor.
But back to the So I come out and Jackie goes, "Well, how'd it go?" I said, "Dude, I love this doctor. He's great." She goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, man. Doc told me I was a beast." She goes, "What do you mean you're a beast?" I said, "Baby, come on. Look at this. Look at this. I'm a beast." And I give her the paperwork, and she's looking through it, and she goes, "Your blood work?" Yeah. She goes, "No, honey, the doctor didn't say you were a beast." I said, "The hell he didn't." She said, "No, honey, the doctor said you're obese." I said, "No, give me that." I looked at the doctor. So I didn't go back to that doctor either.
No, I think what he was trying to say was you were an Irish beast. You know, obese, like O'Reilly. Obese. Yeah.
I like that. Dude, I love you, man.
Yeah, you just got to...
If we ain't got each other, who do we got?
No, you got to find the truth.
You do.
Yeah, see?
I'm going to stick with I'm a beast.
You know what I found out this weekend?
Lay it on me.
I'm an idiot. I'm a sucker.
Yeah?
I'm a fool. I'm a lemming. I followed...
Is this related to what we talked about last time about us giving certain currency to certain people that don't really deserve it?
Well, similar. It goes along with that, but I think it has more to do with the fight.
Yep. That's the one. I am a boxing, mixed martial arts, combat sports fanatic. I love it. I was raised on it.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being a child with my dad and my grandfather and sitting around in his little cabin in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, around a radio, listening to Muhammad Ali fights on the radio.
Come on, man. Back when fighting was fighting.
You know what I mean?
Come on,
and
Muhammad
we were all
Ali.
gathered around the radio listening to the call of these fights, you know? So I grew up in that, and I love it. So I'm not one who can miss an event when it comes to combat sports.
Right.
What a loosely titled event happened this weekend when 44-year-old retired champ Floyd Mayweather, 50-0 in his career, many consider the greatest fighter of all time, coming out to fight an exhibition against YouTube star Logan Paul, who has 20-some million followers. The dude's made an absolute... You can hate him all you want,
right?
But
no,
you have to give him credit,
right,
for doing something to gain. I mean, everybody who makes fun of him wishes they could have figured that formula out.
Oh, absolutely.
To be quite honest, he looks jacked too. Like that guy's got some muscles.
Yeah, he's ripped,
and he did. He came in the ring over 35 pounds bigger than Mayweather, but again, Mayweather is 50-0, has fought everybody in the world and won, fighting a guy who's 0-1 and is a YouTuber. All right? Now, everything about this says don't pay the money. Just don't do it, because Logan's going to tell you everything that happened.
Right,
you know, you're going to get the recap there.
I'd seen it on TikTok before the fight was even over.
Oh, dude.
I was watching part.
Well, the announcers were saying, you know, that's 2 rounds in. That's like 4 TikTok videos for Logan Paul. You know? So,
and there was no gotcha hat.
Oh, no. For the first 2 rounds, they stood there. They just stood there. And it reminded me of why I hated Floyd Mayweather and always have. I respect him as a fighter,
right,
but he's everything I can't stand. as far as the arrogance, the money.
Oh, yeah.
I am just here for the money. And all of his fights, as I look back, as I'm watching this going, why am I surprised?
Right.
Every fight I ever bought of his was boring as hell.
Well,
because he doesn't really fight. He dances and makes it so you can't hit him, which frustrates you.
Right.
And he wins, but it's like, the guy, but he didn't even hit me, you know?
And I heard now that he's going to retire and he's going to be a ballet instructor.
Oh, he could dance.
Yeah,
he already tried dancing
dancing
with
machine.
the Stars.
Yeah, right.
He was on there years ago.
Right. No, he's gonna.
I'm watching it and I'm thinking, why am I so? This is exactly how every Mayweather fight went.
You knew it.
The other guy can't get to him to hit him, and Mayweather just plays and he throws out a few punches here and there to win. He wasn't going to try to get engaged to where he might get hurt.
Right.
He was there. He is smart and knows. Look, I made money. People may be disappointed.
Right.
They may be all this. The most exciting part was it was raining during one of the fights and the fighters kept falling. And I'm thinking, keep this during the Paul and Mayweather thing. Yeah. At least there's a chance of something. But in my mind, as it finished, it's like, if you were scoring it, Mayweather won. But for what was set out to achieve, Mayweather lost massively, and Logan Paul is the big winner. Logan Paul can say he went 8 rounds with potentially greatest fighter who ever fought.
Yeah.
The greatest fighter who ever fought can say, I fought a bigger guy, but he was a YouTuber with one fight that he lost, and I could not even hurt him. You know, so I say Mayweather was an immense disappointment.
So yes,
because if you're that skilled, you should have been able.
Yeah, how
to
do we judge that as old school boxing followers, where it was legit and real? Now we're watching it change, not only in boxing but our sports. Everything's changing.
It's an event and it's sports entertainment. It's not actual competition.
It's all entertainment.
Can I chime in on this one part?
I would love to.
Please do.
I would imagine a match like this would have been indoors, not outdoors.
I would have thought the same thing, but instead they hold it in a huge Miami football stadium where you can see the 378 people in attendance.
Yep. And
is what I heard.
It rained too, as well. Like there was a little bit of weather in that area from what I heard. And all that stuff.
It rained. They thought they were going to have a rain delay.
And there was no I mean, the match was going to be determined by the referee, but there was no judges there.
There was no judges. There was no winner determined. No winner was determined. It was just an exhibition.
And Floyd still made $100 million, and Paul.
I don't know how much they made, but they made ridiculous amounts of money.
I feel sorry for the guys who had pay-per-view issues, because a lot of people were having issues trying to watch that fight for what it was.
And I wish I would have been one of them, because they'll get their money back. I will not. I have this forever as on my bill. I paid for it. I watched it. I am now targeted for every ad that will be done for any Paul fight.
Well, Mayweather
I had to
and
see
Paul,
his little douche canoe brother in the corner. And as much as, you know what, it was so hard, because they're getting into the ring, and I'm going, I hate Floyd Mayweather so bad, but I think I hate Logan Paul worse. You know, and this would be the only scenario where I would not be cheering for Mayweather. And then I thought, well, maybe, you know what this is like? It was like when I was voting for president. It was the same kind of vibe.
You almost needed a therapist right there,
It was like, but which one do I not like? Oh, man.
You're going to talk about this to your therapist, ain't you?
You are my therapist.
I got nothing for you, man. Let's go to the mountain. Let's go to the mountain.
In the words of South Park, it's giant douche versus turd sandwich.
That was
there. You go.
Well, and the announcers were saying this seems like an episode of South Park.
Are you kidding me?
They actually made that comment of what this circus felt like. You know,
and Floyd doesn't care what we say or anybody says.
Nothing, because like he said, he made his money, kept his smile. I had a good time tonight.
Right.
Had a good time tonight.
Right.
Had a good time. And Logan Paul is on top of the world because I went 8 rounds.
Dude, I bet if Floyd, his record was on the line, it would have been a whole different story. Because I think the lack of judges not being there and stuff is what really set the tone for this
Then it would have been legit.
He would have never accepted a legitimate fight. He is 50-0 and will stay that way forever.
Yep.
He will come out and do exhibitions, and may I ask you, please don't buy him. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I will never, unless he is fighting somebody who legitimately is going to fight.
Right.
That is going to make him fight. I have no interest in seeing him again. But as sad as it sounds, Logan Paul made it a more entertaining spectacle than Floyd Mayweather
that's all
did.
It was, man.
And it's exactly what it was. So again, I don't care what the scorecard would list. The winner, overall, public media-wise, and who's going to benefit the most from that? Logan Paul. I've
transitioned in the MMA.
I love mixed martial arts.
Yeah, I used to be hardcore boxing. Used to. I've given up, man. Everything's
you got to fight. No, you watch the right fights. You watch the ones who aren't Floyd Mayweather,
right?
And watch legitimate fights. Oh, in fact, get ready for Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. They're going to fight again coming up. Now that's
real boxing.
That's real boxing. Yeah. That's the real thing. That's it. This is different, but you knew it going into it. It's sports entertainment, and I shouldn't be sitting here going this, that. I knew what it was.
Yeah,
I knew what I was getting
Brian,
into.
This is the second time, though, my friend, isn't it? Did you watch the first one?
Which first one?
What was that first fight that Logan said?
Against the other YouTuber.
You paid for that one too?
Okay, yes, I've seen the Paul Boys fight.
You paid for that one too?
Look, dude. I watch it.
I'm just asking because I didn't pay for any of that.
Yes.
We got work to do.
I know. I've got to quit. No, I'm done. I'm just as I said, I'm done with Mayweather. All right, but now there's a couple of big. There's now what's Logan Paul's? But Jake Paul is going to be fighting Tyrone Woodley, who's a former MMA champion.
Oh, really?
So those
Boxing
two are going to go at it.
If Woodley wants to make a name for himself and actually get himself out there, he needs to drop kick his ass.
He needs to beat the hell out of him.
Right. Give
Not
us
just
a
beat
show.
him, beat the hell out of him.
Yes.
No, he does. Otherwise, this is, again, a win for the Paul family. You have to beat him up and knock him out, or it is a win. All they've got to do is survive it, and it's a win for them.
Right.
I mean,
no, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, the other one they're talking about, you being an MMA fan can appreciate this. They've thrown out a whole boatload of money to Oscar De La Hoya and GSP, Georges St-Pierre.
Yes.
About those two getting in. Now, again, spectacle, entertainment, whatever, I'm in. Okay, that one, I'm sorry, I'm a big GSP fan. And I was going to name my dog Oscar De La Pug. But it was a girl, so we went with Oprah. All
right. Brian, we've got so much work to do.
I know.
I'm gonna, dude.
Am I signing in for another session? Is this what?
Yes. Yes.
But look, for two dudes who didn't buy the fight or anything like that, who was wondering what was going on and texting me?
Oh, I was, dude, because I knew you were watching the fight. And again, and the only thing I saw on the Twitter feeds was my pay-per-view was not giving me the show. Like, that just flooded the Twitter pages. Like, I can't see the fight. This is BS. Yep. I'm like, you guys are more suckers than I thought you were. I envy Brian because he actually got to saw the fight, so...
Well, Elijah watched it too. Elijah's down in Arizona with his aunt and uncle, and they paid for it for him. And he's just like me. He's a chip off the old block. He called me up just pissed 7 ways. All they're doing is dancing, Dad. I mean, I was sitting there just laughing, listening to myself, my little self, just reaping that fight, man. I said, Elijah, at least you didn't pay for it, buddy.
Well, I did. And the most exciting part of the whole card, honestly, was former NFL star Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson, who was wide receiver for many, many years.
Right.
43 years old, decided to make his debut in the boxing ring against a guy who was a former bare-knuckle fighter.
Oh.
So, I mean, everyone's thought is, Chad, you are going to bleed. You've got old tearaway skin, which it looked like when he's walking in. I go, that skin will rip really easily.
That chicken skin?
And Chad was fun as hell.
Right?
Yeah. He got knocked down in the 4th round, but I think overall probably won the fight or a draw. But that was entertaining as hell, actually, watching him.
Yeah, not to watch that. But the grand finale.
No. But hey, it gave me something to talk about.
Next time you want to buy a fight like that, just fill it out to us. Fill out your check to us and come over and we'll entertain you. And
I think what you really mean is next time you do this, put some ribs on and call us, because as stupid as it sounds, we'll be there. I know.
Yeah, if you're gonna do ribs, yeah, you had me at ribs.
That was it right there.
Yeah.
Well, it was good because we had another rib fest this weekend.
Did you really?
My buddy Brian had come over for the fight. Him and his fiance. And he said, I know, I listened to the podcast and I heard you guys talking about ribs. I hope you're not ribbed out because I was thinking of making some. And I said, there is no such thing as ribbed out.
Ribbed out? Are you kidding me?
No. He brought in a different kind of rub that he had used on there. Kind of tasted like some kind of smoky ancho chili kind of thing on there. Oh, it was some good stuff.
Man, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we looked around. We looked around the house for what do we have to serve with this.
All right.
We had 2 more cans of Dr. Pepper beans.
Oh, you did not.
You remember the last podcast? We broke them out, and then I forget Brian listens to every podcast, and he goes, I heard about these. Shit, I forgot
Brian, you better pay close attention. Yeah. Pay close attention. Call me if you got questions, man. I know.
Well, I was in a, music gets you in a cool groove. And I was just in one of those this morning where I woke up and I thought, you know what I need? I need Cody Jinks. Now, I need to turn you on to some Cody Jinks. Cody Jinks is as outlaw, rebel country as you can be.
I like him already.
I mean, the first introduction I had to him was a song called Hippies and Cowboys.
Okay.
And it's just raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys. They don't care about this. They don't care about songs.
Has he got them on YouTube stuff?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I'm going to mark it down here so I can remember to look at it.
That, and it must be the whiskey and all he has so many albums, and the dude is just real hardcore country, but he gets that. You can smell the sawdust and the smoke and the I don't give a shit.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
That's kind of the mood I'm in right now.
He is.
Yeah.
He is a modern day Merle Haggard. It's that kind of dude. He ain't in it to sell records. He ain't in it to. So I was just cranking the Hippies and the Cowboys, and it must be the whiskey on the way here, and it just puts me in the right mood.
Cody Jinks.
Cody. Cody Jinks, Jinks. He's one of those guys that people who think radio doesn't have a clue about country music have been enamored with for years and wondered why nobody's jumped on board. And the thing is, Cody could give a rip whether you played him on the radio or not.
First song, Hippies and Cowboys. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to. It's got just a great groove to it.
Right on.
But put me in the mood, and again, that's what music does, man.
Oh, man,
that's what music does. But Cody Jinks was my pick for today, and I know he did something really different. As I talked about, Eric Church put out the 2 albums, Heart and Soul,
right?
At the same time, 2 different pieces. Cody Jinks did that as well, where he put out 2 pieces of work this last year at relatively the same time or 1 week apart, each with a completely different feel. And that's true artistry. When you got that much, that shows you what was going on with these artists during COVID lockdown.
Right.
There was a lot of songwriting going on, and there was a lot of music being created.
Right.
Dan Smyers from Dan and Shay just messaged me this weekend, and it was the first picture of him outdoors dressed since thing has hit, because he has been holed up in the basement in his studio.
Right.
Just endlessly working on music and then getting wrapped into that. So would I have a feeling, music fan wise, come this summer and into the fall, we're going to get a lot of killer new music.
I hope so.
I really feel it. We do.
We need it.
They're going to get out there touring. They're going to get those juices flowing again. And they've got all this material waiting. And usually late summer, early fall is the big time release for when they put out the albums. Everyone tries to get them out before the holiday season.
Right.
So look for some good stuff coming through that. My daughter just got back from her very first trip to Las Vegas.
Yeah?
Yeah, her and her boyfriend and a couple friends went to Vegas for a few days. Oh, that's
right. I remember you telling me that. Yeah. And?
They had a blast.
Okay.
They had the time of their lives. They had this little stuffed anime character that apparently everybody knows who it is. but they got him at the airport and took him everywhere and had people take pictures with him. They got a couple of Vegas cops to hold it and holding this thing. And then they found some guy on the street who recognized the character and was just beside himself for getting to hold it. And he was just giddy, getting this some kind of yellow dude.
The nerds are taking over, y'all.
Oh, absolutely! No, they've taken over the streets of Vegas.
Oh,
I thought they had the streets of Vegas.
No, the strippers did. I used to go there. You'd get them stripper cards.
Oh yeah.
Remember when you'd walk down the street, everyone's handing out these
punch
cards.
Card?
No, it was like their baseball card.
Punch cards.
Oh, you had a different one.
Yeah.
I had like Bunny Butts rookie card. It was like that.
I used to have them too a couple of years ago, actually, when we went to Vegas for one of our bachelor parties, I believe. They were still handing them out a couple of years ago. Yeah,
were they really?
Yeah, Bubbles, Tokyo,
guys just
Tiffany,
standing there,
Sparkles. Yeah, dudes just trying to get you to the nearest club in that street. And
no way.
Because I remember my son was playing Legion baseball, and they went on a trip to Vegas.
I've heard about that.
And teenager, but he comes home when he's unpacking. I find a stack of stripper cards in his luggage.
I bet you that was one day too, because they dished that stuff out like candy, dude.
God, I haven't been to Vegas in forever, dude. We gotta.
Why? I got one of your cards last time I was there.
Oh, that's my publisher.
Really? I didn't recognize you in the shark suit. That was a dorsal fin?
We should go to Vegas.
Really?
Three of us should go out to Vegas for a
man, I go out there for the shows, man. When I went out there, I went for the Penn and Teller show. I've always seen them on TV and stuff.
Right?
When I went there to see them live, man.
No, they got some legit shows, and
the Blue Man
good
too.
stuff.
What's that?
And the Blue Man Group too. When and saw the Blue Man Group.
Okay, they creep the hell out of me, man.
But they're amazing.
Oh, I'm sure they are. But that would give me
artists.
nightmares for a long time. Those blue men who don't talk.
If you want to, dude, that's what I imagine what a psychedelic sensation would be by going to one of their shows.
Nope.
Yeah.
Dude, we should get some acid. Take you to the Blue Man show, bro.
You don't need it if you're going to the Blue Man show. Those dudes are creepy. I have nightmares about blue men with tubes that make noise beside me just looking at me. That's horrifying.
The hell of shows are you watching?
That's right. But us,
we'll go for
Vegas,
therapy.
You decked in fur, us hitting the strip.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to make some noise.
Yeah, we're all going to need penicillin shots after that run. Just because there's lots of disease out there, like COVID.
All I'm doing is hitting a buffet, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm collecting a handful of cards and I'm going to the buffet.
I'm going straight to Gordon Ramsay's kitchen place, man.
Gordon
He
Ramsay's
makes
Hell's
good
Kitchen.
burgers and
Okay,
stuff.
Hell's Kitchen.
But I respect the hell out of my daughter and her boyfriend because what they were excited about, they Google and they look and they go, there's a freaking Golden Corral right by our hotel. We haven't had Golden Corral forever. It's been shut down here. So they go and they converge on Golden Corral like it's the Bellagio. You know what I mean?
Way.
And they hit it. They're getting pictures in Golden Corral. My daughter's boyfriend is going up to the guy and he said, this is awesome. Well, where are y'all from? We're from Colorado and we can't find them there anymore. And he said, we live in Greeley. Oh.
Yeah. There you go. Here's your sign.
Well, buffets is the way you want to go in Las Vegas anyways, because restaurants are expensive.
Right.
And buffets, it's like, $8-9 a person.
Yeah.
Last time I went, and that's dirt cheap to get all you can eat.
Right.
It is, but I'd like to see cameras behind
the
serving area of a buffet.
No.
I see the people who have walked up and used the tongs before me at the buffet.
Sure. I question anything.
Nope.
At Las Vegas, anybody touching anything, to be quite honest, it's Las Vegas.
That's true.
That's why you
What happens in Vegas?
Okay.
It stays in Vegas.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Sometimes
it
home.
spreads. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just saying. Sometimes you can accidentally bring it home. That's what I've heard. I one time.
Honestly, if 90% of the shit you said was true.
That's what I've heard on a documentary.
He doesn't want us to go back because he wants to have a good time. He's got some unfinished business to take care of and get a couple of things he left back there.
I'm not going. That's it.
Come on.
No. We'll just keep hitting places around here. No.
Okay.
No. I'm all right. I'm closer.
We'll skip the Blue Man.
Skip the Blue Man group. They terrify me, dude. I went to David Copperfield there, which was a cool show to go and see.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that Angel dude do something there?
Yeah, Chris Angel. Chris Angel, Mind Freak. He's been. He's had a residence at one place for quite some time, but that may have been years ago. I don't know that he's doing anything right
really?
now.
Whatever the Pyramid one is, that Pyramid Hotel.
The Luxor?
Yes.
The
Luxor. That's the one with the pyramid and stuff. That's where his magic show happens.
Chris Angels is?
Really?
Yes, Chris because I had seen, I couldn't remember what hotel it was, but I'd seen the big shop.
Yes.
So I knew that he had a production there somewhere, but it had been a few years. I didn't know if he was still.
That was a couple years ago.
Still rolling.
Because I know at Penn and Teller we had to go outside of Las Vegas to, I think it's the Rio Hotel. It's one of the big fancy hotels outside of Las Vegas Strip that you can go to. We took an Uber to get there and stuff, but that's their dedications. And I can't remember who else was in that in the other hotels, but yeah, it seems these artists have dedicated performance halls, if you will.
Wow.
And what a gig!
Yeah,
if you can just set up residency at a hotel, and you're gonna have sold out shows with different people every night.
Seriously.
Same skit, dude.
You can just,
but
seriously,
why do it every night though? When you can just get in and fight Holyfield and people like you pay for it.
Man, you gotta go there, bro.
No, if Holyfield were fighting, I'm all over that.
I'll take
Dude
Holyfield.
is coming back
I'll take
in.
Holyfield.
He's got a fight scheduled against the last guy that Mike Tyson fought professionally.
No way.
Who hasn't fought forever as well. I believe it was Peter McNeely.
Okay.
Is going to fight Evander Holyfield, who I believe is... Boy, is Evander pushing upper 50s right now?
Oh, my gosh. He's got to be.
I think he's got to be about 58.
Holyfield,
right around there. But they showed him in the crowd last night.
Yeah?
He is still one of the most amazing physical specimens. He was one that when he was champ, I always thought that when God was making the body of man,
right,
it was Evander Holyfield because he just had that perfect cape cut. His body was just
Evander
nothing
Holyfield.
I have never looked at you once. I've actually wanted to bite your damn ear off, but I've never looked and went, that's the real deal.
That's the real deal right there. It don't get no more realer than this, man.
Cisco Field. God, what weeds would grow in one of those?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my
with all
gosh.
these elderly boxers and stuff like this here, Brian, is there any hopes of any new and upcoming people that you have any faith in to keep the sport alive kind of thing?
Absolutely. Earl Spence Jr. is a guy who's undefeated and is going to be fighting Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, Manny's still fighting?
Manny has been waiting for... Manny fights and fights and fights. It's been a year or two for Manny.
Right.
Last fight he had, he looked phenomenal.
Really?
Phenomenal. Manny's 40. And if you remember, one of my favorite fighters of all time was Bernard the Executioner Hopkins. And Bernard fought for titles up until he was 50 years old.
Wow.
He was just a freak of nature. So he was going to quit when he was 40 and God, I'm not done yet. And he fought till he was 50 for titles.
Wow.
So there's still some kick.
Sure.
How
old's Pacquiao now?
Pacquiao's 40.
40.
Yeah. He's 40.
Man,
and this other guy
is...
Spence is one of these young, undefeated dudes who's fought like 20, 30 fights.
Okay.
And has never lost and is young and in his prime. So there's a matchup right there. And still, the name in boxing, Canelo Alvarez is just, he is an absolute beast. The only guy, I believe, who beat him was Floyd Mayweather. And that was because they fought way too early in his career.
Okay.
I knew when that fight was made. It may have been De La Hoya that he fought. He lost either Mayweather or De La Hoya, and it was one where when it was made, I thought, he's 2 years from doing this fight. He's not quite there. He's going to lose this, but he has been absolutely unstoppable. So there's still some good young ones,
hope.
and the MMA keeps putting out. Great young fighters. That's the thing about a shelf life of an MMA fighter.
Oh, yeah.
A boxer will go
Turnover's
undefeated,
quick.
maybe lose one fight, and they're considering whether they're done. MMA fighters will be like 28-15, and they're considered, because that is one of those sports where even if you're great, you're going to lose.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. At some point, man, with everything coming at you, that's what I love about it. You can't underestimate an MMA fight. You never know what's going to happen.
If you could get in the ring, because I always had this fantasy. In fact, at one point, I was training. I was going to train before I turned 50.
Yeah.
That for my 50th birthday, I wanted to get in the octagon.
Okay.
I just wanted to get. I had it kind of set up. Whereas a guy who was a fight promoter around here, was going to put me in with one of their less experienced professional fighters. So I was training. I was kind of training for that. By kind of training, I mean I only had one hot dog instead of two. But I was. It was definitely something that I wanted to do, and I said I'm going to do this. And as it got closer, I went nah, because I saw a friend of mine get the hell beat out of him by a girl in the ring, who thought he would try fighting a professional female, and got beat to hell. But if you would you love to jump in a boxing ring with somebody or an octagon?
Oh man. Probably the octagon.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I think it'd be with Oprah Winfrey. Yep. I've been wanting to beat her ass.
Okay, we're talking about actual fighters.
Not, actual fighters.
Fantasy wish list.
Yeah, no.
And edit that one. Right. So, Scott.
Yes.
Would you rather get in an octagon or a ring?
Oh. Like for a real fight?
Yeah, a real fight. If you could pick one. Not your opponent. Pick it. See, I go octagon because I'm a cheater. And I couldn't stick by the rules of boxing that if he got close and was doing something, I'd get him in a headlock. I'd want to throw him on the ground. I'd want to do something like that. Yeah. That's MMA. I'm better at the contain and smother movement than I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think either. Man, it hurts too much. I don't have an interest in getting in the ring.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
That's right. Yeah. I'm the mop boy that cleans up the blood off the mat. Yeah.
The manliest looking wuss you'll ever find.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I want to give a shout out. We've been loving the last couple of weeks. We've been trying to get out and go to some local places and just pop by and just see people again, because I think that's what we all need mentally, physically, in every way. There is so much healing done in just getting to see each other again.
Right.
And we went to the Mad Cow in downtown Greeley.
Dude, what a cool place. Killer sandwiches.
Well,
my
the
God.
sandwiches were great. I wanted to start with just how nice the people were there.
Yeah, but the cheese.
That's what I'm getting there.
I'm still hooked on the sandwich.
But it was wonderful to walk
Good
in
vibes.
and right away recognizing friends that you hadn't seen, shaking hands, giving hugs. I'm sorry, but I was doing it.
Yes, you were.
And it comes time to order, and I'm looking at this menu, and I see grilled cheese. I see pick your own bread. You pick the kind of cheese. So I went with I'm thinking grilled cheese. I want a cheddar and provolone. So I know cheddar and provolone together makes a really tasty sandwich. But I got that toasted sourdough bread that I just love me some sourdough. But I grabbed it to pull it apart, and seriously, y'all, I stretched and I had to pull it about, would you say 2 feet? It was about a foot and a half.
Every bit
of a foot and a
that.
half to 2 feet. I had to pull it before the cheese finally separated and then did that kind of flap wrap around.
Yeah.
Dude, it was... It was so cheesily delicious.
It was. Dude, and the garage door was open right on the corner.
Yeah.
Dude, it was just, the vibes were killer. Killer music jamming in the background, man. Good vibes.
What it reminded me is that we really do have some great places to spend time. There are so many restaurants that you may not have dove into over the last couple years that are alive and thriving in downtown Greeley.
Right.
That whole walk-through area down there has just gotten really nice, and great eateries. I mean, I love like Luna's Tacos is just up from there. Another one that I really like to stop in at.
What's it called?
Luna's.
Luna's, okay.
Yeah, tequila and tacos.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a happy spot for me. But there's a lot of great business in downtown Greeley, and getting to go there was fun, and we just want to keep hitting places around. But I also, over the weekend, went and did something I hadn't done forever. I hadn't walked around downtown Greeley for a long time, which we got to do. I went and took an Old Town food tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A friend of mine has a new business called Old Town Food Tours, and it is just a brilliant idea for, there's lots of times people come from out of town and they're foodies, they want to go try, some great food, different places. And he's put together this food tour where, you pay your ticket price and then you meet up and you go on a walking tour of different restaurants in Old Town Fort Collins.
Oh,
and we stopped in 5 different places and had everything from pizza to lemon meringue pie to, all this stuff that, I went into restaurants I had never seen before. And man, in Fort Collins, there's a restaurant every 100 feet.
Really?
There, you know what I'm talking about, James, when you get down there in Old Town?
Dude, my wallet gets light at the end of the day some days, man. Because, there's a lot of local restaurants there. And breweries, too, man. The breweries are uncontrollable up there.
They're out of control.
Absolutely. Well, we had stopped at a place called, I think it was called The Still, which had incredible beef and bourbon. And that was, okay, you got the B words there. You throw in a bacon and no. There's a night. All right, yeah. So that, that was great. Yeah. I tried a pizza place called Slice Pizza. Have you tried Slice, James, in Fort Collins?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's really good stuff. I had a macaroni and cheese pizza. Yeah, exactly. That's it. When he said it, I said, how much weed do you all smoke here to come up with macaroni and cheese pizza?
Well, I'm sure you saw a CBD building every other block, to be
that
honest.
Too, yes.
Starbucks.
That's what's keeping the food going.
There's a potato vendor, Buds and Spuds. There wasn't, but there should be.
Yes, there should. Write that down.
I've had that written down. I got it. Believe me, I already bought the name.
Oh, good. Okay, you got the email?
Because, no, seriously, you get somebody coming out of the weed store, and you go, would you care for a nice Philly baked potato with that? Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's smart. Look, the Girl Scouts used to hang out outside there selling cookies.
Oh, see?
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
That's just
brilliant.
Exactly brilliant. But if you're looking for a fun thing to do, it's a buddy of mine's business, Old Town Food Tours, and they're just getting started. I took their first one. It was kind of a trial thing, just like to get the rough edges out and feel everything. We were treated so cool and heard great stories from all the restaurants we went to. The chef would come out and explain the dish.
Really?
And do all that. And it just felt like one of those.
Cool.
Yeah.
It got personal.
It did. Now,
okay.
I liked everything, and like the fanciest restaurant. I'm just not a fancy guy.
No.
I didn't. When you come to me and say, I've got a nice, we've got a nice
pate
hominy on mayonnaise dill spread.
And they're only about that big around on the plate.
With some chipotle grits and something like that. And do you have corn dogs?
With ketchup.
With ketchup.
But what happened was I found myself eating things I would have never, ever tried. I did not touch the mayonnaise, but I tried everything else. I ate salsa made with beets. Oh. It was called Bito de Gallo. Instead of Pico de Gallo. They said we added beets to this, and my first question was, why?
Right.
Why would you do that? And I thought, what the hell? I've had a couple of drinks. And then they bring out the cocktail, and this is made with an elderberry flower and grapefruit nectar and this. And well, that sounds delightful.
For a garden.
But it was, damn, that's good. Yeah. It was delicious. Really? Give me a whole punch bowl of that stuff.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what was kind of cool, was, again, when you go on something like this, you're a little more open to try things you normally wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I
and
was
don't
just
you kind of gotta be? I mean, that's what the whole process is about.
It's to people who like to try things. Yeah. Right. Oh, I definitely did. I wanted to. I wanted to say that I tried everything, and I ate me some beets for the first time in my life.
Yeah, I've had the worst experience, though. I don't say the worst experience. I had the experience where I did the same thing. Try to go out, try something new, try one of these fancy places, if you will. The ones that uses glass bottles to pour your water.
Yes.
And the crystal glasses and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm feeling this salmon kind of thing. There's something glazed with this special in-house sauce and all this crazy jazz with cherry on top.
Right.
I'm like, yes. I mean, for $32, this thing's got to be something godly, I'm like, sure, let's just see what happens. Because, I mean, if you're going out expensive, you're going to pay expensive. So
right.
I was prepared to drop.
You got to try it.
Absolutely, you got to do it once.
And I waited, and it comes, drops the plate in front of me, and lo and behold, I have something that like half-inch size salmon, little bitty slice of a slab. And I'm like, I dropped $32 for this when I can buy like for a whole salmon or two.
You know how much chicken of the sea you could have gotten for that?
Oh, yes. Yes.
And been more full.
And and I'm like, dude, it's like the glaze was good, but I'm not full.
Listen, you take a can of my albacore with a jug of my honey, and bam, you got a $32 meal right there, man.
I'm starting to think that way now.
Right? Got the glaze and the albacore, baby.
But sometimes it's fun to just,
go
and go for it. And that's what was neat about this was just because you got to go.
Experience.
What we did, what Kyle and I ended up doing was we found 3 restaurants where we will plan special nights out to.
Okay.
We found like that, here's where we have our anniversary dinner. That's it.
Go.
This is where I'm going to get that cut of beef that I just, we found those places. So that was really neat. But highly recommended Old Town Food Tours. It's very, very cool. But it was fun, man. It was. And we even got to go to a donut place, man.
Oh, yeah.
On Donut Day, it was, God, I wish I could remember, but they serve hot donuts. They were hot, and it's in one of those, do you know where the churn ice cream thing is in Old Town Fort Collins?
Yes.
And that whole food area that's in there, it's there.
Okay.
It's there. And I can't remember what the name of the donut shop was, but it's right across. You can look through the window into a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a donut place in Fort Collins.
There is. It's got it's got a black front. It looks like a bunch of power boxes, but they painted them and made it look kind of cool. But you go up to the window and you order right then, and you sit there and you wait just a minute, and then you get your donuts in this little basket, and they're hot donuts.
No way.
They're hot donuts. It's like when you go to the carnival and you go to the mini donut stand.
Yeah.
And I love those warm donuts.
Right.
Imagine those on steroids. They're bigger, and they are just filled with just all sorts of different things. And we just said, you pick out what you would like us to try.
Sure.
And
wow.
If it's the one I think it is. I think it's the Fort Collins Donut Corp, which is the one that can have different donut flavors too. Like there's Fruity Pebbles. Like there's all kinds of like experimental donuts off that whole process. If it's the one I'm thinking of that you went to kind of thing. So
yeah, I wish I could remember the name. It was a few gals working in there, and it was really, really good.
I get to find any local restaurant up in Fort Collins to be horrible or even bad. Like 90% of those restaurants that's locally owned, it's just been phenomenal stuff.
We have an absolutely incredible food scene around northern Colorado because each city, you walk around Loveland, I can't say I've spent a lot of time in Longmont walking around and checking, but I've heard, every place around, even our little small towns, when you hit their little small town, hometown cafe, you get some of the best stuff you're going to find anywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean the Mac House is one of those. Like I've never heard of the Mac House, but that was stellar.
Oh yeah, we'll be going back because you had the Elvis sandwich, which I had thought about.
Man,
dude, I still
it looked like 3 kinds of meat and at least.
Dude. And it was right proportions too. It wasn't too much of one thing or the other. Like the vegetation was on point, the cheese was on point, the sauce was on point. Like the mayonnaise was not even close to being overwhelming. It was a great balance to that sandwich. Plus the kettle chips that came with it too.
Oh yeah,
I dig crunch. Yeah, man. No, good stuff. Now that we made everybody hungry.
Now.
And the other thing totally unrelated that I noticed, and I'm going to ask you to see if either of you know the answer to this. Something that I used to know just like that. You'd ask me, how much is a postage stamp?
59 cents.
You got a guess?
$1.20.
Are you right, James?
I bring this up.
And like leading some brothers on to just drop the ball, man. Just drop the ball.
Say I had the answer.
I say 59 cents because you got to keep in mind I was married last year and I said I'd send them some invitations.
I
and
just
stuff,
imagined with everything going up the way it is, and
I thought it went from 52 to 58 cents just recently.
I might be off by a penny. It's pretty close to 60 cents. Like it's pushing 60 for sure, unless you get the forever stamps, and I still got some back in 40 cents.
We buy stamps. I always pay the extra to support.
The forever stamps.
Is that what they are? The forever stamps.
That's
is that
what I
that's
always
called?
would buy.
No, there's customizable ones. Like it goes for a purpose.
Yeah.
I know one. John Oliver did one where it was stamps to help the postal service themselves to get to help the money with their financial situation and stuff.
So
like that.
do you buy the
books?
but
collectors.
do you buy
the collector?
Okay, but do you buy that the money goes to an organization or
yeah,
something?
but I've got a couple of books in my safe right now that actually is collector stuff that supports these kind of things. There's some.
You're a philatelist?
Not really. It's just a good causes to support.
Okay. That's a stamp collector.
Oh, phew.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that was a word, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Scott was wondering if he was one.
I just like the way it rolled off your tongue. I might want to become one. Tell me more.
There is tongue involved, Scott. There is tongue involved.
I was trying to go somewhere with this.
I'm really glad you've been refrained. Dude, you've actually been on good behavior. I don't know what's wrong.
I always pay the extra for stamps for the Save the Boobs. I am a big supporter of Save the Boobs. The breast cancer awareness. Yeah. Always, dude. I always pay the extra for that, man. I'm a big supporter of that.
I support that as well, but I do usually get the wildlife ones.
They got wildlife ones?
You can about find a stamp for anything, to be honest, man. They got Nickelodeon, Disney, Star Wars.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You can find. I mean, there's collections of this.
Wow.
Oh, I wish I would have hung on to Elvis stamps when they came out.
Yes.
No kidding.
The fact that I don't really, really bugs me.
Oh.
That's one of those things I should have been all over. Mm-hmm. But yeah, collectible. You realize more and more the value, astronomical value, that get put on things for no reason.
Right.
Getting back to Logan Paul, did you see what he walked in, his ring attire? He walked into the ring with a gold chain around his neck with a gold laminated Pokemon card.
Yes, sir.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Man?
No. The collection on Pokemon is skyrocketed because of that fucker. Yes, that's going to be a big
There's going to be a big beat there.
Yeah, no, I mean,
what did he say? I just heard Kerr.
Kerr.
No. I heard
No, it was, what's a stamp collector called? A what?
Philatelist.
That's what it is. I might want to be one of those.
I used to love to do that to the engineer.
I do that at the drive-thrus.
Oh, that's fun too. That really is.
I totally do.
And then you see the maintenance guy come out to check the speaker.
Can't help
we got to do a segment on messing with people through the drive-thru.
Oh yeah.
One time. Okay.
Write it down.
No, I'm going to share. This was funny. We went through the drive-thru, ordered our food, and then we circled right around and backed our way through the drive-thru, came back up to the window, handed them the sack, and said, "That'll be $5.35." You know what it was like? We did this reverse thing. And we thought we were really cool, of course. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, sometime we should bring a drive-through worker in with us and let them just go off and say how they feel about people like us.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I did a horrible drive-through thing one time, man. was on my phone, okay? I ordered, but I was on my phone, and there was a line. This lady behind me started honking because they'd moved up through the McDonald's, and sorry. I mean, she was hungry. She was very upset. And so as I pulled up to the first window, I told him, I said, hey, I want to buy this lady's meal behind me. She's upset, and I want to buy her meal. And she said, oh, that's really nice. So I paid for mine and hers, pulled up the next window, and I got my bag, and I said, no, I paid for the second too. I'm picking that up too. So when she pulled up the first window, she waved and smiled, and I waved back. And she pulled up the second window. They said he took your food. Yeah. So I made her feel all bad, and then
you're a dick.
Yeah. God, that's fun. Try it sometime though.
So that's like fun. Pay it backwards.
Yeah, right. I did. She's got good taste too. I like the combo she ordered. Not bad.
So glad she got a McFlurry.
Oh, she totally got a McFlurry.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you got to do that once in a while.
Well, this has been fun, man. It was just good to get back together. You know, it has been hotter than hell, and I'm already just counting the days till end of September, early October.
Come on, snow.
Because we're doing that usually happens where we have our fall, we have a couple days in the 60s, we skip the 70s, dive into the 80s and 90s.
Right.
And that's welcome, and this is where we're going to stay, I think, for a while.
No, I winterized my Harley and put it up and went ahead and pulled the snowmobile out and got it ready because I'm hoping for snow soon.
I winterized my Harley.
Yeah.
June.
Dude, come on, snow.
I am totally with you, brother.
Right, I can't
So
do
until
it.
the snow flies.
Yes, soon.
That's it.
Soon.
Absolutely. But hey, it's the Mike in the Mountain, Brian Gary.
Scott Cisco.
That's it. You know, I haven't gotten your name wrong for a long time.
You haven't, man. It has been a while. How did you say it that one time?
You used to be like Scott Cisco, or it was Sot Cisco.
Scott Cisco.
Yeah, it was Sot. I think is what it was. I was getting you messed up.
And you were really high that day. What episode was that?
No, actually, the last thing I would ever do is come here impaired. Because I need every bit of what I got to get through this.
Says the man on the AMA stuff with a tequila bottle.
Right.
That was one night a long time ago, and it hasn't been gone. That was like our first AMA 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So...
Prop my ass, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't aged enough.
No, well, we'll finish that off at the next AMA.
Yes,
all right,
we will.
We'll do that. Well, hey, until next time, be safe out there. Stay cool.
Stay hydrated.
Now, as we talk about taking care of nature and learning about nature, I also, for a moment, want to say, take care of your domestic animals in this heat.
Yes.
You know, why it might sound like a great idea to take the dog with for a ride to the store, dog's probably going to be better off hanging out in the air conditioning at home. You know, mountain, stream, different scenario.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. But get out there, enjoy nature. If you encounter things that are looking a little weird in your yard or outside, you've got questions, we have answers at our website at CiscoMWE.com. I talked about checking that out and playing animal noises for the dogs. One of my favorite things to do that to your dog or your cat and film it. I want to see it. But everything you need for your home defense tips, you're going to find it at CiscoMWE. Until next time, for the Mike in the Mountain, Brian Gary,
Scott Cisco.
Peace, y'all. I think I just said yeet.
Hey,
accidentally. I yeeted under my breath.
Well, you might as well. You're paying for use. You might as well be yeeting.
I was yeeted on that thing.
You
I don't
totally
even know what
got
it
yeeted.
means, but
Everybody
I felt
got
yeeted.
Well, yeah, I get, I don't know.
Have you been yeeted?
I don't know. Not in a while.
Me?
You're in a drought.
Tumbleweed. The tumble and tumbleweeds.
Scott's eating that stamp collection as the winter comes. That's what he's waiting for.
Yeah.
Scott will be a philatelist. The next time we see him, he's going to get philattled today.
I'm going to philattle the out of that. Philatopus.